The partisan media is propping up anyone who will come at their enemy. Biden is the perceived enemy of the right. Trump is the enemy of the left. And each side is going to use these underdogs to get their agenda as much traction as possible. The question is, can the media effectively prop them up? As the New York Times puts it, Christie himself may be banking on the thirst of news organizations for a frontal and colorful fight with Mr. Trump. Joining me now, John Ziegler, conservative commentator and host of the Death of Journalism podcast. John, welcome back to the show. Appreciate it. All right, so is it possible that this will work? I mean, can the left-leaning media successfully prop up Chris Christie and the right-leaning media prop up Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Yes and no. I think this is much like Yogi Berra once said, this is deja vu all over again. I'm getting hives thinking about 2016 as an anti-Trump conservative and all the mistakes the media made then that allowed Trump to win the nomination and the presidency. I think we're repeating many of the same mistakes, although maybe in a slightly different way than you do. Let's take the Fox News obsession with Robert Kennedy for a second. I actually think this helps Donald Trump in a huge way that the media is missing. And the reason why it's going to help him is because I believe that Trump is going to compare his polling advantage over DeSantis to Biden's polling advantage over RFK Jr. and say, Biden's not doing debates. Biden's not having a primary. Why should I have debates in a primary? And I think he's going to bail out of the debates. And Chris Christie's never going to get his chance to bludgeon Trump. I also think that in New Hampshire, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to help Trump dramatically because there's not going to be a real Democratic fight in New Hampshire. And the anti-COVID, anti-vaccine people that might be voting for DeSantis are going to cross over and vote for RFK Jr., further helping Trump. So basically, it's Trump's world, and everything that happens helps Donald Trump, unfortunately.
Well, look, I think you may be right about Trump looking for an excuse not to have any kind of debate. But when it comes to the media kind of propping up candidates like this, and let's shift over to Chris Christie for a minute, can all of the attention and the support that he'll get from the mainstream media actually make him a viable candidate? I mean, right now he's not, right, based on the polls. Could this make him viable?
No. And the reason why I can't make him viable is because Republican voters have no trust in the people who are trying to prop him up. I believe that it's not too absurd to say that Andrew Cuomo might have a better chance at the Republican nomination than Chris Christie, because after all, Donald Trump just praised his COVID response in comparison to Florida and Ron DeSantis. I mean, I'm only half joking there. Yeah. I mean, the reality is Chris Christie has absolutely, positively no path whatsoever. And ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC saying so is not going to help him one bit in a Republican primary.
So is this just gamesmanship from the media? I mean, is this just a way to sort of to frame their own agenda and use it in the context of saying, look, you see, Democrats are saying this, or see, look, Republicans are saying this?
You know very well, Dan, better than I do, that this is one of the favorite tactics of both the left and the right media, because it allows them to pretend that they're somehow fair and balanced in the case of Fox News Channel, when in reality, it's all agenda-driven, and it has nothing to do with the truth. And in this case, it has absolutely nothing to do with keeping Donald Trump from being the Republican presidential nominee, which I told you 2 months ago is almost on the verge of already being clinched. And I'm not happy about it. And I think we should stop screwing around and realize that we're at a very urgent stage of this process.
John Ziegler, thank you, as always. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.